I'm the most annoying guy on set because I'm saying, excuse me, you do realize that this should be happening and they wouldn't do that, and you haven't read this, that means this would be impossible. And everyone's just going, Henry, just shut up and do the thing. And I'm like, I don't want to do the thing because he wouldn't do it this way, and he can do this.
And you have a sense that you're going, is this really necessary?
You ever notice how some roles are more than just acting? They become part of the actor's identity, something that fans can't imagine being replaced. That's exactly what happened with Henry Cavill in The Witcher. For years, Henry wasn't just playing Geralt of Rivia, he was Geralt. The gravelly voice, the subtle rage, the emotion buried under cold armor. It was pure Cavill magic. He brought depth to a character that, on paper, could have been another sword-swinging fantasy cliché. Instead, he turned it into a global phenomenon. But then, something snapped. Fast forward to 2025. The brand new Witcher Season 4 trailer drops, the one fans had been waiting for ever since Netflix announced that Liam Hemsworth would be taking over. And the reaction? Nothing short of savage. Within hours, dislikes flooded in, memes went viral, and fans were calling it a total downgrade. People weren't just disappointed, they were furious. The internet became a battlefield. Cavill loyalists on one side, Netflix defenders on the other, and poor Liam Hemsworth caught right in the middle. Except, not everyone felt sorry for him. Because just as the trailer was crashing online, a mysterious leaked photo from the set made things 10 times worse. It showed Liam Hemsworth, Geralt's new face, just lounging around in full costume. Sword down, relaxed, almost bored.
And that's where you start to get more uncomfortable and you're thinking, there's not a performance here.
Fans zoomed in, analyzed every pixel, and within minutes the comment sections were exploding with phrases like, "This is what they replaced Cavill for?" And somewhere, quietly watching all of this unfold, was Henry Cavill himself. Rumors say that what happened next wasn't just a coincidence, because days later, sources close to the production claimed that Cavill had finally reached out to The Witcher's creators, and it wasn't a friendly conversation. This is the story of how a leaked photo, a failed trailer, and a furious fan base might have pushed one of Hollywood's most beloved stars to finally confront the people who replaced him. Let's rewind for a second. The Witcher Season 4 trailer was supposed to be Netflix's big comeback moment, the one that would silence the critics and prove that Liam Hemsworth could fill Henry Cavill's boots. Instead, it turned into a PR nightmare. The first few seconds looked promising. The familiar landscapes, that moody orchestral score, even a glimpse of Roach, the iconic horse. But then Geralt appeared, and fans instantly knew something was off. Liam's version of Geralt felt different, not mysterious or dangerous, just flat. The delivery lacked that weight Cavill brought. His stare didn't burn through the screen, it wandered. Within minutes of the trailer dropping, fan forums lit up with posts like, "He looks like he's at a Renaissance fair." One fan wrote, "This isn't Geralt of Rivia, this is Geralt from Wish." And that one comment alone got over 50,000 upvotes on Reddit in a day. The backlash spread faster than wildfire. YouTube's dislike ratio skyrocketed, and hashtag #NotMyGeralt started trending worldwide. Even the official Witcher Twitter account had to turn off replies for a few hours, a sign that Netflix knew exactly how bad things were getting. But the real gut punch came from the reactions of longtime fans, the people who'd stuck with the show through uneven pacing, creative differences, and lore changes. For them, Henry Cavill was the reason the show worked. He fought to keep the series faithful to the books. He corrected the writers when they went too far off canon. He cared about the fans. And now, seeing the trailer strip away everything he built, it felt like a betrayal. There's something fascinating about watching a fandom revolt in real time. The same people who once defended Netflix's creative risks were now calling the company out, demanding accountability. Some even started tagging Cavill directly, begging him to speak out, but Henry stayed silent. No statements, no interviews, nothing. Just silence. At least until the photo leaked. Because that one image, Liam Hemsworth sitting casually on set with his armor half off, was the spark that lit the fuse. Fans said it showed exactly what was wrong with this new version of The Witcher. The lack of passion, the lack of intensity, the lack of Cavill. And if you think the trailer backlash was bad, the storm that came after that photo dropped would make Netflix wish it had never tried replacing him in the first place. When the trailer bombed, Netflix brushed it off. Early reactions are part of the process, one executive reportedly said. But once the photo started trending, the tone changed. The caption under that viral post read, "Geralt's taking a coffee break while the franchise burns." In less than 24 hours, the image had over 3 million shares. TikTok edits compared Liam's posture to Cavill's intense training videos, showing Henry sword fighting at dawn, drenched in sweat, versus Liam sitting on a log with sunglasses. That contrast hit fans hard. The message was clear. The man who treated Geralt like a sacred duty had been replaced by someone who treated it like a casual gig. And that's when the the rumors started. People close to the production claimed that Henry Cavill had reached out to The Witcher's creative team, not publicly, but directly. One insider said Cavill was furious that the series had lost its soul, especially after seeing how the replacement was being portrayed. Some even claimed he confronted one of the showrunners during a private industry event, saying, "You turned something beautiful into a meme." Of course, none of this has been confirmed officially, but it didn't have to be. The internet ran with it. Cavill fans flooded comment sections with messages of support. "We stand with Henry. He built this world, they destroyed it." Meanwhile, Liam's team went quiet. No new interviews, no promo posts, nothing. Even his brother, Chris Hemsworth, who usually defends him online, stayed silent. That silence said a lot. Behind the scenes, Netflix was reportedly panicking. Marketing budgets were being reallocated. Meetings were being called daily, and executives were allegedly trying to damage control the entire situation before the October 30th release date. But once a fandom feels betrayed, it's nearly impossible to win them back. Because The Witcher wasn't just a show, it was a symbol of loyalty, and Cavill embodied that loyalty more than anyone. He didn't just act like Geralt, he lived it. Every interview, every behind-the-scenes clip, every tiny detail, Henry made it clear he loved this character deeply. So when the leaked photos showed someone who didn't seem to share that same fire, it hit differently. Fans weren't just angry, they were heartbroken. And that heartbreak soon turned into something much more dangerous for Netflix, a movement. Because when one legend walks away from a story, fans don't just move on, they start asking questions. And the one question that kept echoing across every comment section was simple: why did they ever let Henry Cavill go? It all started with one blurry image. No official context, no watermark, just a single frame that spread faster than wildfire. Liam Hemsworth sitting on a set chair, sword tossed aside, costume halfway unbuttoned, laughing with a crew member. At first glance, it looked harmless, just another behind-the-scenes moment. But fans didn't see it that way. To them, that photo symbolized everything wrong with The Witcher Season 4. See, Henry Cavill had built a reputation for being obsessive in the best way possible. He lived for the details. He studied the books, quoted Andrzej Sapkowski's dialogue from memory, and even corrected the writers when the scripts drifted too far from the lore. He was the kind of actor who stayed in character between takes, who refused to use stunt doubles because he wanted every movement, every grunt to feel authentic. So when the leaked photo of Liam hit social media, fans compared it directly to those moments of Cavill training in full armor under the blazing sun. The contrast was painful. Cavill's Geralt looked like a warrior haunted by destiny. Liam's Geralt looked like he was waiting for lunch break. Reddit exploded. The photo thread got over 70,000 comments in 2 days. One post read, "This is what passion versus paycheck looks like." Another said, "Cavill bled for this role." Liam's just chilling memes started circulating instantly. Side-by-sides of Cavill with blood and dirt on his armor next to Liam with a smoothie in hand. Hashtags like #LazyGeralt and #ChillWitcher trended globally. Netflix tried to shut it down, of course. The photo was removed from major fan pages within hours. Copyright claims started popping up, and the PR team quietly asked influencers to avoid sharing unofficial material. But by then, it was too late. The image was everywhere. Mirrored, re-uploaded, screenshot, immortalized. And here's where it got worse. Rumors started that the leak didn't come from an outsider. Some claimed it was someone within the crew, a quiet protest from people unhappy with the direction the show had taken. One supposed insider even wrote in a now-deleted comment, "Some of us miss Henry too." The energy isn't the same on set. That one line was enough to fuel a week's worth of online chaos. News outlets began picking it up. YouTubers made reaction videos dissecting the expression on Liam's face, and fans started tagging Cavill directly, asking him to say something, anything. And for a few days, Henry said nothing. He let the storm rage on while Netflix scrambled to patch the holes. But according to whispers from industry insiders, Cavill was anything but quiet behind the scenes. That's when the story shifted from online outrage to confrontation, because apparently Henry Cavill had finally had enough. He'd been silent long enough, watching something he loved fall apart in real time. And if the rumors are true, what happened next wasn't some polite disagreement. It was a full-on showdown between Cavill and the creators of The Witcher. When news first broke that Henry Cavill had allegedly confronted the creators of The Witcher, most fans didn't believe it. Henry isn't known for drama. He's professional, polite, even diplomatic when things go wrong. But sometimes, quiet people make the loudest impact when they finally speak up. Sources close to the situation claim it happened during a private industry event, something Netflix hosted in early October. The room was full of producers, showrunners, PR teams, and yes, several faces from the original Witcher crew. Cavill arrived looking calm, but witnesses said his tone was anything but. He reportedly walked straight up to one of the lead writers, someone he'd publicly disagreed with years earlier, and said, "You've taken something that meant so much to so many, and you've turned it into a parody." Another insider described the exchange as tense but controlled. Cavill wasn't yelling, but every word hit like a hammer. He called out the creative team for abandoning the tone and spirit of the books, for ignoring the fans who made the series successful, and for treating Geralt like a replaceable face instead of the complex, tortured character he was. One quote that allegedly came from that confrontation sent the internet into meltdown. "Geralt deserves better, and so do the fans." Those 6 words became a rallying cry. Within hours, fan pages, Reddit threads, and TikTok edits all repeated it like gospel. Hashtag Geralt deserves better trended across multiple countries. But the fallout didn't stop there. Reports claim Netflix executives were furious that the confrontation leaked at all. The company wanted to keep everything quiet until the season's release. But Cavill's words, whether intentional or not, reignited the entire backlash. And then came the kicker. That same night, Cavill posted a cryptic Instagram story. A close-up shot of a wolf medallion on a desk with the caption, "Some things can't be replaced." No context, no tags, just that. Fans lost it. The post was shared across every platform within minutes. Some interpreted it as a farewell message, others as a warning. But one thing was clear. Henry Cavill had just broken his silence, and the internet was hanging on his every word. Meanwhile, Liam Hemsworth's PR team reportedly went into lockdown mode. No press appearances, no social media posts, not even a casual interview. The guy had vanished. And that silence, intentional or not, only made fans more suspicious. Because if Henry Cavill was now taking shots, subtle or not, and the entire fandom was rallying behind him, what did that mean for The Witcher's future? Inside Netflix, things were reportedly spiraling. Executives were holding emergency calls with marketing and social teams, debating whether to release another trailer to win fans back or delay the season entirely. But no matter what they tried, one truth kept echoing louder than ever. You can't replace a legend. And no matter how hard Netflix tried, Henry Cavill's shadow loomed over every frame of Season 4. Behind closed doors, Netflix was in full-blown crisis mode, the kind of chaos where executives cancel meetings just to join emergency calls. PR teams work through the night, and every department suddenly pretends to be a fan expert. The Witcher Season 4 backlash had gone from bad PR week to potential disaster. Every marketing plan they drafted was falling apart in real time. Merchandise deals were stalling, promotional partners were backing out, and some international distributors were quietly asking if they could reconsider the rollout schedule. Translation: they didn't want to be part of the fallout. Inside sources say the biggest problem wasn't the leaked photo or the trailer itself, it was the sentiment. Once fans decided Liam Hemsworth was a downgrade, there was no fixing it. Netflix could polish every shot, improve the CGI, release 10 more trailers, but they couldn't replicate what Henry Cavill brought to the role. Authenticity. You can't fake passion, and Henry's passion was the backbone of The Witcher. Executives reportedly tried everything to stop the backlash. They called in focus groups, hired extra marketing consultants, and even debated whether to release a new teaser that would emphasize the darker tone of the season, as if a few moodier filters could make fans forget what they'd seen. But every time they released something new, fans dissected it instantly. Every frame of Liam Hemsworth's Geralt was analyzed, roasted, memed. One edit went viral showing Henry Cavill slaying monsters next to Liam struggling to lift the same sword. Pure internet savagery. At one point, a frustrated marketing exec allegedly said during a private call, "We should have just ended the show with Cavill." Even Netflix's social team couldn't catch a break. Every post, or even unrelated ones, was flooded with comments. "Where's Cavill? Bring back Henry. We're not watching." And when you start losing your own fan base before the show even airs, that's when panic turns into desperation. To make matters worse, a supposed leak from an internal email surfaced online. It showed a senior producer allegedly writing, "We underestimated how much Henry's presence mattered." Replacing him might have been the mistake that destroyed this franchise. Now, no one could confirm whether that email was real, but the damage was done. It felt real, and that was enough. By mid-October, Netflix was facing a dilemma. Either push forward and risk a catastrophic release on October 30th, or delay the season to do damage control. But delaying would be an admission of failure, something Netflix has never been good at. So, instead, they doubled down. The plan? Stay quiet, ride out the storm, and hope time would make people forget. Except time wasn't helping them anymore. Because Henry Cavill was about to remind everyone exactly why fans fell in love with Geralt in the first place. And all it took was one post, one simple message to flip the entire narrative. When the world's falling apart around you, sometimes silence is louder than words. And Henry Cavill knows that better than anyone. Just days after reports of his confrontation with the show's creators leaked, Cavill broke his silence. Not with an interview, not with a roast, but with a single perfectly timed post. A photo, a dimly lit shot of a weathered wolf medallion resting on a wooden table. And beneath it, 5 words. Some legends can't be replaced. No tag, no mention of The Witcher, no context, just that. It hit the internet like a meteor. Fans flooded his comments section within seconds. The post hit 1 million likes in under an hour, then 3 million, then 5. Every entertainment outlet, every fandom page, every Twitter thread, everyone was talking about it. Was it a jab at Netflix? A subtle goodbye, or maybe a message to the fans? A thank you for staying loyal through the chaos? No one knew for sure, but everyone felt it, and that's what made it so powerful. Suddenly, the narrative shifted. Netflix wasn't the star of the conversation anymore. Henry was. The fans who'd been furious just days earlier now rallied around him, using his post as a symbol of rebellion. Edits flooded TikTok with captions like, "You can replace an actor, but not a legend." Liam Hemsworth's silence only made it worse. While Henry's post was spreading everywhere, Liam's socials went dark. No likes, no responses, not even a basic PR statement. For a rising backlash like this, silence wasn't mystery. It was guilt by omission. Behind the scenes, Netflix reportedly begged Henry to clarify his message, to post something neutral, maybe thank the team, or at least distance himself from the rumors of confrontation. But he refused. Cavill wasn't playing PR games games anymore. He'd said what he needed to say, and fans understood it perfectly. Then something wild happened. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, the video game from CD Projekt Red, suddenly saw a spike in player numbers. Tens of thousands of fans went back to replay the game, as if they wanted to remember what real Geralt felt like. Reddit threads were filled with nostalgia posts, fan art of Cavill's Geralt, and tributes like, "Henry was our Witcher, and no one can replace him." For Netflix, it was a PR apocalypse disguised as fan nostalgia. Every headline about the upcoming season included Cavill's name, not Liam's. Every comment section was flooded with people declaring they'd rewatch Cavill's seasons instead of tuning in for season 4. Cavill didn't even have to speak again. He'd won the internet without saying another word. And deep down, Netflix knew it. They'd lost control of their own story. Because when the actor you replaced becomes bigger than your franchise, you're not marketing a show anymore. You're fighting a legend. And legends don't lose. By the time October hit, the Witcher fandom wasn't just angry, it was united. This wasn't a few loud voices online anymore. It was a movement. Everywhere you looked, Cavill's name was trending. Reddit threads were turning into digital protests. Fan edits with millions of views were captioned, "Bring back our Witcher." Some fans even organized real-world campaigns, roasting billboards in LA and London that read, "You can't replace a legend." It wasn't just about a show anymore, it was about loyalty, about integrity, about the idea that when someone gives their heart to a role, the audience feels it. And Henry Cavill wasn't just any actor. He was one of those rare ones who respected the lore, respected the fans, and respected the craft. He didn't treat The Witcher like another job. He treated it like a promise. That's why the backlash against Netflix grew beyond the trailer, beyond the casting. It became symbolic. Every post, every comment, every meme had the same undertone. "We trusted you with something special, and you ruined it." Even other celebrities started liking Cavill's cryptic posts. A few actors from The Witcher's earlier seasons quietly followed him again on social media. Subtle, silent gestures that spoke volumes. Meanwhile, Netflix's silence was deafening. Their official pages stopped mentioning season 4 entirely, focusing instead on other releases. Fans took that as a sign of surrender. And honestly, it was, because the harder Netflix tried to steer the narrative, the more people ignored it. The story wasn't about The Witcher anymore. It was about Henry Cavill's departure, his integrity, and how fans refused to let the industry forget what real dedication looks like. Then came the interviews. Former writers, stunt coordinators, and minor cast members began hinting that Cavill's departure wasn't just creative differences, it was deeper. One insider said, "Henry cared too much. He wanted the show to honor the books. That's what caused tension." And that line, "he cared too much," became the heartbeat of the movement. On TikTok, it turned into a soundbite over slow-motion Cavill clips, captioned, "He cared too much. That's why we loved him." Millions of likes, thousands of comments. Fans weren't just angry anymore. They were emotional, grateful, mourning even. And just like that, Henry Cavill became more than an actor who left a show. He became the symbol of what happens when passion meets corporate indifference, when creativity gets traded for convenience. By the time October 30th, the supposed release date, arrives, something incredible will happen. And deep down, everyone knew Netflix could release 100 new trailers, 1,000 glossy posters, but it wouldn't matter. The Witcher fans had made their choice. Their Witcher wasn't replaceable. Their Witcher was Henry Cavill. In Hollywood, people come and go, roles are recast, stories evolve, franchises move on, but every now and then, someone leaves a mark that can't be erased. Not by a new actor, not by a new season, not by a billion-dollar studio. Henry Cavill did that. When he walked away from The Witcher, fans didn't just lose a character, they lost the heart of the story. And no amount of marketing, spin, or studio polish could change that. Think about it. What made Cavill's Geralt special wasn't just the sword fights or the gravelly voice. It was the quiet moments, the emotion in his eyes, the weight in his silence, the way he made you believe that Geralt carried centuries of pain on his shoulders. Liam Hemsworth may have the armor, the sword, even the same lines, but he doesn't have that weight. And that's something no amount of acting can fake. When Henry posted that final message, "Some legends can't be replaced," it wasn't just a jab at Netflix. It was a truth that every fan already felt deep down. A reminder that authenticity can't be bought, that passion matters, that audiences can tell when something real has been replaced by something manufactured. The fallout from The Witcher Season 4's backlash will probably be studied for years as a lesson in fan loyalty, creative mismanagement, and how ignoring the audience can sink even the biggest franchises. But for the fans, this story isn't about failure. It's about respect. Respect for the man who brought their favorite monster slayer to life. Respect for the effort, the sweat, the love he poured into every frame. And respect for the idea that no matter how much Hollywood tries to move on, some stories and some heroes belong to the people. Henry Cavill, walking away from the chaos, the camera lights, the noise, sword slung over his shoulder, that wolf medallion glinting one last time. He doesn't look back. He doesn't have to, because legends never do. Do you think The Witcher can ever recover without Henry Cavill? Or is this the end of an era for good? Let me know in the comments below, because this story might not be over yet.